I want to know, Ryan, how was Bristol?
Yeah, Bristol was definitely a neat experience. Definitely an up and down day. I think a lot of guys had up and down days. Luckily, ours ended on a positive note, driving back through the field and running eighth, but after getting tore up, pretty good. But just something, that was not really familiar with anybody, not familiar with my crew chief, Todd Gordon, with me, with a lot of other teams of, all right, how are you going to attack this race as the track changes, and what changes to your car do what? Not a lot of people had very much knowledge of it, but I'm really proud of the effort we made to kind of get it fixed up there after we got tore up, and I thought it put on a pretty good show. So we made the most of it and got out of there with a good finish. So overall, a pretty good day for us.
How much dirt experience do you actually have?
Not a lot. Everyone thinks, oh, Blaney, he has so much dirt experience because his dad and stuff. And I didn't grow up doing that stuff. I grew up really mostly pavement, asphalt, late models, and dad is the dirt guy. So it was a pretty new thing to me. But I was able to pick dad's brain a little bit. And, he was able to give me some good insight. But yeah, me myself, I don't really have much dirt experience at all.
Visibility was an issue in the accident for you, but not only you, anybody that was not leading seemed to have visibility problems. How bad was it out there?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Just the time of day at that moment. The sun was kind of setting, and it sets over there in turn 1 and 2, and just the dust also you put into it, and it's just, you can't see. You literally cannot see anything. The only person that could see was the leader. And, when we got tore up, I had no idea where I was at. And I think a lot of guys say they had no idea where they were at on the racetrack. And we just kind of all got together there. But visibility was a problem. But luckily, NASCAR was on their toes and did a pretty good job of watering the track back down to where it needed to be to kind of kill the dust a little bit for a while. But I'm fully on board of, next year, if that was a night race, it's, the visibility is going to be way better. And I think the track will be way better. It won't get so dusty, and it'll give not only the drivers an easier time, but the fans a better time too, to watch it.
Well, what do you think, Ryan, about the idea next year of taking what I call the road course application, have the light on in the rear bumper, and just what the hell? Add the windshield.
He couldn't see. He couldn't see anything.
I don't know if the windshield wiper.
I don't even know if he knew he was ready.
Put a Swiffer on.
Yeah, it might help.
Riding with Ryan, our
advanced auto
parts cam.
We're kind of in a box on how wet can you get the track, until it starts plugging up radiators.
This is where it started right here. He saw it, Jeff, because he checked up for these guys. When he did, he got run over.
He got a combination of
so unless
the
you make
sun,
huge changes to the cooling of our cars,
some issues to the windshield, the
take
glare,
the windshields
and then
out,
all
put
that
screens
dust.
in, and
there
then
were a lot of
protecting all
people
the
that couldn't
electrical stuff
see.
that's open.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
You can make it work, but yeah, it's a little bit tough. It's not, obviously they're not your standard dirt car, dirt late model, sprint car. But I'm sure they'll take this experience, NASCAR will, and tweak it for years to come.
Nothing worse as a race car driver not being able to see what is in front of you through the windshield.
And what I'm talking about is that win in Atlanta.
Here's Austin Dillon's view, our Coca-Cola cam,
and especially Todd, to do with the rest of the races.
Yeah, it was big, to get that win early in the year for sure at Atlanta. Really, as far as our mindset and kind of how we approach the next races, I don't really think changes too much. You go into every week,
laps after a race,
whether you
here's
have
Mikey.
a win, no wins, or 5 wins.
So you see that.
Trying to win the race
with this dirt.
So I don't really think it changes our mindset.
For whatever reason,
much.
it takes a minute to get cleaned off.
You take your normal risks and weigh the options out like you would any other week.
Go down there to BW Land, and it's
it
just
is
like
nice
this for a few laps, and it finally cleans off, starts putting on that good show that you're looking for.
Playoffs.
So here's who's involved.
I say that,
Kyle
but
Busch and Ryan Blaney, you saw. Michael McDowell was in it. Austin Dillon.
That's definitely not out of the question,
the
but
five,
it's just nice to get one early to where you can.
Two of the Rick Ware
cars. Let's keep going. But as far as mindset changes, approaching races, I really don't see much difference.
Alex Bowman and Quinn Houff.
It's on to the paperclip. When I say Martinsville, what does Ryan Blaney say?
Man, that's pretty much a home track for me. I grew up in High Point, North Carolina, and that's about 45 minutes away from Martinsville. Honestly, I grew up closer to Martinsville than I did Charlotte. And I went to many races watching Dad run, and I say just close out the deal on that racetrack. You know, we've had such good runs there in the past. We ran second there both races last year, had a car to win. Just trying to close it out there. We've been super good in the past, like I said, and it's so hard to win there. It's so hard to put together 500 good laps, and I know we can do it. Just a matter of executing all the way. But kind of redemption, I guess you could say. Just finally wanting to win one in Martinsville and have that have that one checked off your box.
As I said, bringing you on here in the wind tunnel, you're a 20-something. There's a handful of 20-somethings now at the ultimate level, the Cup level. Tell me a little bit about the interaction, you fellow young guns, away from the racetrack or even in the driver's motor coach lot. Is there a lot of back and forth and maybe even a little trash talking between you cats?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us are the same age, like you said. And, you usually grow up racing with those guys. You know, I grew up racing with Chase and Bubba, and known those guys for many, many years. And we're the best friends on and off the track. But on the track, we probably race each other harder than anybody, just because you kind of want those bragging rights. And Chase definitely has the bragging rights right now of being the champion. But yeah, it's good to have friends who you've known for a long time you can compete against. But I think it makes, at least me, it kind of pushes me harder to want to beat them, week in and week out. But we have the utmost respect for each other at the same time of being the most competitive with each other. And yeah, there is a little bit of trash talk that goes on, but not much. At the end of the day, we all want to see each other succeed, but you want to be the one that succeeds more than your buddies.
You guys still involved in your garage band?
No, I have not picked up a microphone in a long time. So
what happened? What happened?
I lost it. I just lost being able to do it. I just didn't do it for a while. And we enjoyed me and Bub Wallace. We're big heavy metal fans, and he's a pretty good drummer. And we messed around with that for a little bit, but we were not very good, and didn't really have the time to keep doing it the way we needed to do it. Our normal schedule is so busy; it's hard to kind of find time to do it. And if you're not doing that stuff all the time, you kind of get rusty at it and lose it. So the garage band has been put on hold for a while, but you never know when it can get kicked back up again.
NASCAR is off for the holiday weekend for Easter and Passover. You get a rare opportunity to get away from the week-to-week grind that the NASCAR Cup Series is. What are you doing?
Yeah, our schedule is so long, and we have a few off weeks here throughout the year. And it's nice to get a little bit of a break, not only for us, but, everyone on the team too, to kind of spend time with their families, and especially for the Easter weekend. And me and some friends, we're going down to Charleston, South Carolina, and celebrating a birthday of a good friend of ours. And so that'll be fun. I've never been to Charleston before. I heard it's beautiful. So looking forward to getting down there and just spend some time with some good friends.
When you go out and hang out with some of your friends, do you go incognito?
Well, I just not really, just dress normal. And if you recognize with the mask going on right now, it's a little bit easier to be incognito. So that part has been a little bit easier, but I enjoy, the one thing I miss about pre-COVID, is interacting with people and fans and things like that. And that's kind of been put on hold with everything going on. So I would say I don't really go purposely incognito. I just dress kind of how I dress. And if you recognize me, great. And I'll talk to you and have a beer with you or something. But yeah, it's good to meet new people and meet fans who are watch you and follow you racing. But, with everything going on, you still have to be conscious and careful about what you're doing, for sure.
Last question. What is your beer of choice that you'll be consuming in Charleston?
Oof, that's $1 million question right there. I'm actually a huge bourbon fan, big whiskey bourbon fan. And, man, I've one of my favorite countries I ever visited was Ireland. And, I became a huge Jameson and Guinness fan over there, and that's kind of carried over to the States. So I would say I'm going to be searching for some Jameson and Guinness, and see where that takes me.
I think you can find that in Charleston. Listen, we appreciate your visiting with us and wish you the best of luck. You've already got your ticket punched for the playoffs. So the rest of the season, just get yourself ready for those 10 races. And maybe, just maybe, you can unseat your best friend and you can be the 2021 NASCAR Cup champion.
Well, I appreciate it. That's the goal. And thank you for having me.
We'll be back with more here on Jackaroot's Wind Tunnel right after this.